Hello everybody and welcome back to the Braeden YouTube channel. It's another beautiful day out here at the Champ Ground, and today we are going to get this car tied up and get it started. So if you think what we've done up until now is redneck, this is going to take the cake. So I'm sure at this point these videos have kind of been all over the place. I've been recording a lot and it's been late nights, so I haven't really been keeping too good a track of how I've been putting these videos in order and everything, but I'm trying to get all the information out there. So this is going to kind of be like a reset point here, where this video is going to be us tying up the top of the engine where we left off in the last video and then getting this thing started. Dino got the exhaust done 2 days ahead of time, so that's awesome. And we're going to get it thrown on the car. And then I've got some stuff on top to tie up. Put it in wide angle here. So I got to get the radiator in, get coolant in it, and some water wetter. We use distilled water and water wetter. I got to get the starter put into it, get the wiring tied up, get the intake pipe in, a couple of intake caps, vacuum caps. And other than that, there's not, a whole lot. I mean, everything's pretty well put away. When we get to the track, I'm going to go through and redo these because they all kind of fell off. They got saturated with oil when the catch can blew up. We had the catch can overflowed. Basically what happened was we had a ring failure at Mid-Ohio. Again, if you want to go back and watch those videos, that was absolute chaos. But regardless, we had a ring failure and it was just blasting oil out of the breather, which sits right here. And it was actually coming in through a hole in the firewall. We've since plugged. This wide angle's not cutting it. Right there. And it was spewing all over the floor of the car, and I noticed my right foot got wet on the gas pedal, and I thought maybe I was just it was just wet, but turns out we actually were having oil blown to the car, so not good. Hopefully we got all that squared away with this engine. This is a much better built engine. Much more time and care was taken putting this one together. I'm excited to get this thing fired up. We're gonna go ahead and knock this out and get her fired up. Dino should be here shortly. And I know these videos have been all over the place and there's been a lot of building, not a whole lot of action. I'm just trying to kind of get it out there. If nothing else, maybe show somebody what goes into racing a champ car on a budget. You guys have seen my Civic, not so much of a budget at all. This car is a full-on budget built race car, and we've got a pretty good recipe here. We just need to sprinkle on some reliability and we should be good to go. So I'm really hoping that's where we end up this year at Mid-Ohio. And then we got Pittsburgh after that. So hopefully we have 2 good races where we don't have to take out this engine, we don't have to take out this transmission, and we can more focus on maintenance rather than repair. So I'm really looking forward to a good year here, and I'm hoping that we have the parts here to do it, the pieces rather. But I still have to fire this engine up, and I haven't built an engine in a little while, so hopefully I put the necessary amount of care and time into it. So we'll see here soon. So let's get busy and fire this thing up. I just want the team to know this is happening. 2.3 quarts. All right, this is the big moment. It's time to get her fired up. This is a big moment for engine builders that go to start an engine they built. That one question that lingers, did I tighten that? There's only one way to find out. So let's get in the car, and the battery's been sitting for quite a while, so I'm not sure if it has the juice to fire the car up or not, but we're gonna give it a try here and see what happens. Dino is on his way with the exhaust right now, so we won't be able to run it too terribly long because the exhaust out of the turbo is firing straight into the side of the radiator. So we have clutch, we have brake, we have a harness cam in my tailbone. Ow. We have throttle. Do we have power? Not a bad sign. There we go. I can't believe how much juice that battery has. It sat all winter and it's just some Econo Power battery. That's amazing. We do have a check engine light. It's flashing a code at us. Not really all that worried about it, so. All right, we may have to look into this actually. Thinking we may have some stuck injectors. I hope not, but it's about the only reason it would be cranking this strong and not start, so. So I got the Honda fired up and it was giving me a PO200 injector circuit malfunction, which kind of confirms my suspicions. But then I looked down there and I realized that connector A, dead center in the screen, that gray one closest to us, that wasn't fully set and it was kind of pulled towards the right and the injectors are on the left. So I think it should start. Let's give it another shot. Here we go. It's definitely more than we got last time. Come on now. Yes. We're still down a hole for sure, but it sounds good, so it's in time and everything. It's actually starting to pick up right now, so that's really good. I don't hear any engine noise. We're gonna go ahead and get out and kind of feel around the engine and see if we hear anything we don't like. Everything looks and feels good in this thing. The only thing I noticed is the Honda was commanding the radiator fan on and it was not coming on. I could have let the temperature climb to 206 and then that's when the switch I talked about in an earlier video, right at the tip of my finger, that's when that would force the fan on. It would bypass the computer's command and send its own. It's kind of like a fallback. I didn't let it get that far. I shut it down at 197. As of right now, the car is pretty much as far done as it can be. Dino's bringing the exhaust again, like I said, and then we're gonna throw that thing on. We'll see how it sounds. And then after that, it's putting the car on the floor, and then James and Dan will have to go through the spares and everything. I'm not gonna head that project up. And then after that, we load it, we go to Mid-Ohio, and we flog this thing. I think we have a good little car to run with right now. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a nice little unit here. Dino's out there bringing in exhaust parts. Whew-wee, my goodness, look at that.
Hey, look at that. Here it is.
It does sound gnarly, man. I'm excited. All right, so here's the situation with the car. We have two things we have to address right now. These will get addressed before the race, obviously. One of them is more important than the other. The first one is, I'm not really sure who did this, if it was someone on the team or if it was the person who sold us this stuff, but there was an O-ring in here that didn't fit. So someone took an O-ring that was too small, cut it down, put it in that hole, and then held the end of it with copper or just like, you know, high temp RTV. Obviously not good. And the other problem is, even when that circlip was set, you could take this blow-off valve and lift it up. So we had a boost leak right there that no one caught. I think the reason we didn't think there was a boost leak is because the RTV may have been taking up enough of the gap that we thought that thing wasn't loose. I'm not sure. regardless, we ordered an O-ring kit. We're gonna get an O-ring in there because we can't get the one from HKS in time, so we'll get that figured out. The other thing is that fan right there. I did all the testing to make sure that it was in fact getting the current that it needed. It is, and I had to beat it with an extension to get it to work. So the thing about that fan is, during the race, it's not running. We have it set to like 25 miles an hour. So the fan can only come on until the car is going 25 miles an hour. The reason being, if you have a fan running when the car is going faster than that, it's a brake. So it actually will slow airflow through it down. So we have it set where it's not supposed to come on over 25 miles an hour. The other thing is, we have this big fat radiator in here, and last race at Mid-Ohio, when the car was running well towards the end of the race, it wasn't going over 175 degrees, and the fan is set to come on at 195, so 185. Regardless, it doesn't get up to the temperature the fan actually comes on. So kind of on this car, we don't even really need the radiator fan, because if you're going 25 miles an hour on course, you might as well just pull over and shut it down and get towed back. You're gonna get killed. So we don't really need the radiator fan. So if it comes down to it, we have to race without it, we can get away with it. We also don't really need the starter. So with those things kind of in the works, we have a fan ordered, we have the O-ring kit ordered. I think we're in really good shape to load this car, put the tires on and get it on the ground, and then we're gonna do some work with the rear bumper. We're actually gonna cut out the section of the rear bumper that's not right in front of the trunk well. So we'll get rid of that like parachute effect back there. So we're gonna cut that out. We'll get the front bumper tied up a little tighter and, you know, tied up to the headlights. And at that point, this thing's ready to go. So we'll go out and get some miles on it at practice on Friday and get it shaken down. And that's it. But like I said, the only thing left to do is get it on the floor and get it loaded. And then James and Dan are gonna go through all the spares and get that stuff loaded tomorrow. As for me, I'm gonna try to get out here, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Those guys are gonna get everything loaded, and the next time you see this car, it should be at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning in for this just massive upload of videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, seeing what goes into making a champ car, making it work. And then now we get to go test it, essentially. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.